Hi, this is Dale O'Shills, pastor of Church of the Redeemer. Here's a question for you. What do you want to be when you grow up? I'm sure that you were asked that question when you were a child, and I'm sure that you probably ask a lot of children that question, what do you want to be when you grow up? And the answers vary. Sometimes kids will say, well, I want to be a doctor, a lawyer, I want to be a fireman, I want to be a sports champion. There are all kinds of answers that will come from a child. And the thing that I want you to note here is that so often we think we equate growing up with what we do when we grow up, our profession, our occupation, what we do. But the Bible teaches us something very different. The Bible teaches us that growing up is not so much a matter of what we do outside, that is the occupation of our life, as much as it has to do with the inside, who we are as people. Are we growing up on the inside? There are a lot of people who are grown up externally. They are adults operating in the adult world, but they're still children spiritually and emotionally. They've never taken that step to mature, to grow up. And so real growing up doesn't happen so much on the outside, physically, certainly that's a part of it, but real growing up, the kind that matters to God, is growing up on the inside, accepting responsibility for your own actions and accepting responsibility for your own attitudes, not behaving in childish ways. And I believe that growing up is a choice that people make. It's a choice that puts you on a trajectory, on a journey. The Apostle Paul described this in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. Listen to his words. It's kind of that moment in Paul's life when he's talking about a decision that he made. He said, when I was a child, I spoke about childish matters. I saw things like a child and reasoned like a child. But the day came when I matured and set aside my childish ways. There was a day that Paul said, I believe he's talking here spiritually and even emotionally. He says, I set aside childishness so that I could begin to grow up. Yes, maturity is a process, but it's a process that begins with a decision. Have you made the decision to grow up? If not, make that decision. Decide, I'm growing up. I'm not going to stay childish in my nature. I want to grow up and be all that God has called me to be.